the Sterling Heights Public Library. My name is Brent, and today we're going to answer the question, what on earth do I do with a whole pineapple? Okay, so I got a fresh pineapple here. Couple things you want to look for when you're picking one of these things out. You'll hear a lot of different things about, how to tell a ripe one or not. You definitely want to look for a yellowish color. If it's all green, it's probably not completely ripe yet. And other than that, a good way to tell is also to give it a good sniff. If it smells like pineapple, if it smells good, it's probably good. If it doesn't, it's probably not there yet. And you do want to watch out for any soft spots or any mold showing. If you see any of that, don't buy it. So we're going to go ahead and show you how to clean this thing up. First thing you do is take the top off. Now, some people plant these things and make a house plant out of them. It'll grow, but I'm not making house plants today. Take off the top, take off the bottom. And then you're going to take the sides and just work your knife right down like so. And go all the way around. You don't need to get every one of these little eyes out of here, but you don't want to leave too much of that in there. Don't be afraid to take several strips. You don't want to go too deep with this. You don't want to lose too much of your pineapple. Now, clean up any weirdness. And then, the easiest way to get the core out of these is to just flip it up, split it in half lengthwise, and then in quarters, and then just take your knife and just fillet that woody core right on out of there. Go ahead and take the core out of this other side over here. And then these, we're just going to use half of it right now. The rest of it, I'll just cube up and we can eat later. This here, I am going to put into a glass pan, like a baking dish. And I'm going to marinate it because I'm going to grill it. So I got a couple tablespoons of brown sugar here. And we're just going to kind of spread that over. It'll start melting in there shortly. And I have got some fish sauce here. Now, if you've never worked with this stuff before, be prepared because it's got a pretty pungent aroma to it. It adds great flavor to things, but if you're not ready for the smell, brace yourself because it's pretty intense. So we're going to let that sit in the fridge for a little while till that kind of soaks in there, and then we're going to grill this. We're going to make a salsa out of it. I got a fire going over here. I'm just keeping it on the one side of the grill right now. Don't really need both sides. So I've got the pineapple that we marinated earlier in the fish sauce and the brown sugar. And I'm going to go ahead and get that on the grill here. We don't need to do anything crazy with that, but we're just going to get a little bit of heat on it and get some marks and caramelize it a little bit. And I'm going to hold on to the liquid that I used for that. I've also got some chicken here. So if you may have asked yourself, well, what's he doing with pineapple salsa? We're going to put it on the chicken. So this is just skinless chicken that has been marinated for a little bit in also some fish sauce and sugar, a little lime juice in it. And we're going to go ahead and flip pineapple. See, it's got some Nice char on it here. Go ahead and give the chicken a turn. Got a little bit more to go on here. And I am keeping the chicken, the raw chicken, separate from the pineapple. You don't want to get cross-contamination. Our pineapple's got a little color on it on both sides here. We're going to go ahead and just put that right back in the same pan it came from. There was never any raw meat associated with this, so we're not going to worry about that marinade. I did discard the marinade from the chicken. You don't want raw chicken juice on anything that you're going to be eating. So we'll just finish up the chicken, we'll take everything back inside, and we'll prep the salsa. We've got that grilled pineapple, and it's had a few minutes to cool, so, and it's not really cooked through either. So at the moment, really, it's just a little grilled on the outside. So we're going to chop that up relatively finely. Doesn't need to be teeny tiny, but we are shooting for a salsa here, not a big old chunky salad. Give that a little bit of a rough chop this direction too. And then that is going to go into a bowl here. I'll go over some of these other ingredients here as soon as I'm done with the pineapple. So again, just the pineapple's pretty sweet on its own, but we added a little bit of that brown sugar to help with the caramelization, and also just to kind of give it a little extra zing. It's nice that way. Okay, get all the rest of the pineapple back in the dish. We're going to take that little bit of sugar and fish sauce from the marinade dish and add that in as well. Now I've got some fresh herbs here. I've got a little bit of fresh mint. I've got some cilantro. And I've got some basil. Nice fresh basil. We're going to go ahead and take all three of those and just give them a quick chop here. We don't want great big pieces, but it does not need to be super fine on the chop. So we're just going to knock that down. That's going to go right in with our pineapple. Oh, quick note. I mentioned earlier the pungency of fish sauce. When you're marinating stuff in your refrigerator and you're using fish sauce, probably not a bad idea to cover it with a little plastic wrap because, oh boy. So I've got some chopped bell pepper here. This is just an orange one, and I got just a shade less than a cup here. I'm going to throw that right in. I've got about 2 chopped jalapenos here. I did take the seeds out of these, so that should control the heat a little bit. I've got about a cup of chopped, finely minced red onion here. Why did I use red? Because it's pretty. Color doesn't make a huge difference most of the time. And I've got some fresh grated ginger here. There's about a tablespoon there. So that's just going to go straight on in. I've got some fresh lime. Go ahead and squeeze that straight in. You can do this with your hands or any kind of a juicer, but these things here are kind of handy. They go kind of quick. We're going to give this a stir and a taste. Give this a taste. Ooh, that's nice. So if you do need to adjust the salt at all, keep in mind your fish sauce here is your salty ingredient. So if you need a little more salt, add a little more fish sauce. So I have got some rice here. Go ahead and just lay that right on the plate. I've got some freshly steamed pea pods here. Put those on here as well. Take one of these pieces of chicken and just slice it on the bias, which means basically on a slant. Now this has been resting for a few minutes, which is not a bad thing. This is not screeching hot at the moment. We're just going to take that and lay that right over the rice. We're going to lay a nice big spoonful of that pineapple salsa right on top of that chicken and rice. Pineapple salsa with grilled chicken.